Hello, everybody. I would like to try to explain the difference between genre and style, the way that I see it. Um, when you read about it online, it can be a very difficult thing. Some people use them interchangeably. Some people debate whether or not there's a difference. For this particular course, with the information that with the listening examples that I've given you, it should be pretty clear. But this is the way that I see it. Okay, a genre is sort of the function of the music. So a genre would be like an opera. So an opera is a play that's been set to music. Okay, a song is just a tiny miniature piece of music that poetry. It's either poetry that's been set to music, or like in a popular song, an artist just wrote their own poetry and set it to music. Okay. A symphony. A symphony is a large orchestral work that's in four particular movements. An oratorio is like a religious opera that has not been staged and includes more chorus. A motet is another genre where it's, generally speaking, a direct quote from the Bible. Versus a hymn is something for a congregation where it's religious in nature, but usually it's a paraphrase from the Bible, and a man has sort of, or a man or woman has been expanding the words there. Okay, style would be like jazz is a style. So you could have a jazz song. You could have a jazz opera. Okay. Another style would be rock. So a Beatles song is, like it's a rock, but it's rock music, but it's a song, if that kind of makes sense. So I'm going to broaden it out. So, for instance, these eras that we're talking about, say the classical era, or the romantic era, or the Baroque era, they are eras, but essentially they are styles. So we can have a Baroque opera. So opera is the genre. In other words, a play set to music, but it's in the style of Baroque music. Okay? Mozart from the classical era. His operas would be a classical opera. Does that make sense? So you could have a jazz opera, a rock opera, you could have a disco opera. If that kind of makes sense. A mass, by the way, if some of you are curious about what that is, you'll read about it, but a mass, think of a Catholic mass. The mass ordinaries, which is what we're talking about, is in 5 parts, which is the Kyrie, the Gloria, the Credo, the Sanctus, and the Agnus Dei. So when we say a mass, the Kyrie is from the mass, and the mass becomes a musical genre. They originally were sung during services. They still are today a little bit. And if you go to church, you probably do it. It's just in English, and maybe there's less singing. Maybe you just say it. For instance, Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy. That's the Kyrie from the Catholic Mass. So I hope this kind of helps. I'm trying to think of anything else I can say that will help you there. Okay, so the reason the first two are styles that I have listed for you, the plain chant. A lot of times people say plain chant is a genre. Plain chant is simply a monophonic way of singing music without meter. So it's a style, but I'm trying not to confuse, so I put style. The next one that's on the list, the one that says organum. That is early polyphony, and that's a style of singing, if that makes sense. But everything else, except for the first two, they're listed as genres. Okay, so today, when you go to the store and you look up pop music, they have genre and subgenre, and they'll say rock, disco. Really, they're all styles, and the genre is just they're all songs. And so that's what's interesting about society. For the last 75 years, most of what we listen to are simply songs, meaning like a 3 to 5 minute, just self-contained piece. It's not part of a larger work. Like an opera aria, people call an aria a song, but really it is a song, but it belongs to a larger work. Or when you see a musical, there are lots of songs, but they have to do with a larger story. Okay? So I hope this helps and didn't confuse you more. Don't stress about it too much. Thank you.